My name is Kevin Wafula. This is a short presentation for my Cycle 7 security tool development sprint. This is in part fulfillment for the course titled Security Tool Development, course number CSC 842 DT1, which is part of the PhD in Cyber Operations program at Dakota State University. And the professor for this course is Dr. Cody Welliu. So my Cycle 7 tool is called QRCode Courier. So come to my GitHub repo, and under this landing page, you have instructions to go to this folder. So you want to browse to that folder. So this is that landing page, and you'll click into that folder, and the folder will bring you into the sprint tool for Cycle 7. Again, the title is called QRCode Courier. It's a tool that is used to obfuscate and encode content into QR codes, and then decode that content, and then deobfuscate the content again from the QR code. And it's in this case, the application is for post exploitation, where you can ship in some malicious code after you've exploited a system, and then deobfuscate it, and then go ahead and run the code and use it. But you can also use it to just ship back and forth sensitive content. Let me say you've already gotten some content in the target environment, and you want to exfiltrate the content. You can actually use that. So if you come to this page, you'll get, again, tool overview, why you should care, my interest in the tool, the 3 main ideas, technical requirements, installation steps, the usage, the video demo. This link will be replaced as soon as I finish this video, and then future direction and some resource links. So I'll jump into the tool right away. If you follow the instructions that I have on that page, you'll download these 3 files from the repo. You can see that here I have 4 here in the repo, but actually just need to download these 3. This one will be the backdoor that once we encode and decode this tool here, if you are a red teamer, for instance, and execute it in the target environment, it's going to go ahead and download this would-be backdoor. It's just a demo, but it's not really a true backdoor, but it demonstrates that capability. So having downloaded this tool, go ahead and run Python. Actually, let's do sudo Python 3, and then run the help command. I will present to you the help menu, and based on that, if we want to encode data, we go and say encode, and we give it a source file. Our source file will be this backdoor stager. Let me just go ahead and cut the backdoor stager so you can see what it is. So this backdoor stager, we're going to download this, and this is, in this case, we're assuming we're the right teamer, so we're going to encode this before we into a QR code before we put the QR code out there in the internet for later on to download into the target environment. And then once we download in the target environment, we'll decode it and then execute it for it to now download the backdoor installer, which is this here, to do its thing, set up a backdoor. So again, if I follow that, so I'll say backdoor stager, and then I want to put a logo on that QR code. I was just experimenting with the logo to see what will happen. so that's why I have it in there. And then the destination is my app the PNG. Later on, after we create the icon, we can always rename it to my app.icon and maybe use it as an icon as that's part of some code that's can be downloaded, and therefore it kind of just looks innocuous. So I think I'm missing something here. Sudo Python 3. Okay, I see what I missed. So the first command here is encode. So with that now, this tool has read the content in the backdoor text file, backdoor stage text file, which is this content here. I'm just printing it out on the screen for verbosity. Then it has encoded into a plain text ASCII byte, then encode it into a base64 byte, and then decode it into a base64 string, and then finally encoding it into a QR code, and then pasting that logo, and then saving that QR code as my app.png. So if we list, also the app also creates my app, the no logo.png, one that doesn't have a logo on it. So just to show you what these files look like, this is the one that doesn't have the logo on it, and this is the one that has a logo on it. And real quick, just to demonstrate that this content in there, if I were to pull a would-be smartphone app and scan this, so you can see that we scanned that base64 string, right? Okay, so let's go back again here. Now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and now run the decode command. So the decode command starts with this tool and then decode, and then you give it the QR code that we just created, and then a destination file. I'll say backdoor stager. So assume now that we've gotten this QR code created, it's out there on the internet, it has some code encoded in it. We're now going to download it into a target environment with compromise. It just looks like an image being downloaded. And then in the target environment, we do have some tool that can, decode the a QR code, maybe living on the LAN kind of tools. In that case, in this case, it will be probably this tool, because you have to still go ahead and do base64 decoding and ASCII decoding, but you can kind of use some tools living on the LAN to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and decode it, but now I'm going to save it into backdoor staged shell with the .sh extension. So that done. So it has read that base64 string from the QR code, encoded into a base64 byte, decode into an ASCII byte, and then decode it into a plain text, and we have that original data. But now that data, that string is saved in the shell script. So I'm living on the land here, so it would be red teamer. Now what I'm going to do here is do sudo, and I have some privileges already in this compromise system, sudo chmod. I would say user so now that string is executable, and again we know what that string has. It's just that. So with that string being executable, I can now go ahead and run it. And what it's going to do is going to download that some code from GitHub and execute it. Okay. I gotta use sudo here. And there you go. So it went ahead and downloaded the backdoor installer. In this case, I'm just showing you that I was able to run a command on the shell. It's just saying, this is proof that you've been pawned. But if you can see, the backdoor installer was never really downloaded here. It just got executed through that call. So again, this is just demonstrate this tool that can be used for post-exploitation situations where you can ship in some code, or even you can encode some stolen data and exfiltrate the data via QR code. Again, read my GitHub repo. It has a little more into how people are using adversaries out there using QR codes to compromise smartphones, sending malicious URLs. And there's a gentleman, Matt KC, who has actually demonstrated that actually he can deliver and auto-execute a binary using a QR code. Again, thank you very much for listening. I hope you've gotten something out of this, and I hope you can go and download the tool, play with it, and maybe even extend it. And thanks. Bye-bye.